What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check update, fourth stimulus check update, and daily news report. Lots of different stimulus items we're going to talk about in this video that you might not be aware of and might actually just save you thousands of dollars or be able to get additional money from this different stimulus packages. I actually have a very interesting one we're going to cover first. We're going to jump right in. I got one thing to cover before that. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates on the upcoming round of stimulus, as well as actually some of the previous rounds of stimulus, things that you might not know that could help you or save you money or get you money. And don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps out our channel. All right, here we go. There's a battle going on right now in our country, and you might not know about it. Well, actually, you might know about it if you watch this channel because, I keep you up to date on all the important stuff, stimulus and related. And that is on vaccine passports. These are new, basically, show your vaccine identification that could potentially in the future mean you may have to show your identification, aka a vaccine passport. That's kind of just the new name that it's getting. It's not an actual passport, but it shows your identification that you got the vaccine. And you might need this to travel or to get into certain businesses or to get into college, like Rutgers College. That is literally the first college to require, as you can see here on the screen, literally from their own website, rutgers.edu. They're requiring their students to have a vaccine to go to in-person schooling this upcoming fall semester 2021. So this is happening in some areas, along with New York. You can see here on this headline from usatoday.com. New York launches nation's first vaccine passports. Others are working on similar ideas, but many details must be worked out. A lot of people are very concerned about this, even if they get the vaccine, because well, it's just kind of the movement that, like, if we require people to do this, what about people that didn't do it? But then the people who are for it are like, well, you should do it anyways, and those people are like, well, we don't want to do it. But so basically, there's a big war going on right now of what is going to happen in the future of this. We currently have 4 different states that have banned these passports through executive order, not presidential executive order, but statewide executive order. As you can see here, 4 different states have done this. Idaho is the most recent banning it. Last week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a similar executive order to block Texas state departments and groups from doing this. Past Friday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed an executive order to ban these, as well as actually the first one was Utah Governor Spencer Cox. But what's interesting now is as we're seeing many states do this, we're now seeing a bill from a Republican here that's actually offering this in Congress to prevent this from happening nationwide. By the way, let me know down below in the comments if you're for this or against this and why. And definitely I can see reasons why. I can see it's weird how the vaccine and even maybe the extension of the virus is a Democrat versus Republican thing. It's as a realist, I find it kind of weird. Actually, Mitch McConnell has actually been coming out to try to get more Republican men to actually take the vaccine, as a recent study came out that said about 50% of Republican men don't want to get the vaccine at all. And it'll be interesting to see where that goes in the future. House Freedom Caucus Chairman Andy Biggs, a Republican from Arizona, on Thursday introduced a bill that would bar federal government agencies from issuing or requiring vaccine passports, according to a copy of the legislation obtained by the Hill. The bill, titled the No Vaccine Passports Act, would stipulate that federal agencies could not issue standardized documentation showing an individual has gotten the vaccine, nor could they require proof of the vaccine to access federal grounds. Biggs said in a statement that passports will not help our nation recover from the virus. Instead, they will simply impose more big brother surveillance on our society. However, as you can see here, the legislation faces an uphill battle to passage in the Democratic controlled House and Senate. And the Biden administration officials have already made clear that they do not intend to support or have any involvement in a federalized vaccine documentation program and would instead defer to the private sector to determine their need for any such sort of documentation. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said on Tuesday, the government is not now, nor will we be, supporting a system that requires Americans to carry a credential. There will be no federal vaccination database and no federal mandate requiring everyone to obtain a single vaccination credential, again, said by White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. I will keep you up to date on this because I know a lot of people are very concerned about this because of their privacy and their medical history and all that stuff. And it's a very tricky situation because it's like, the White House and the Democrats and, well, most people are pushing to get this vaccine to get herd immunity, but on the other hand, they want to have their privacy respected. So it's kind of weird how we want people to get it, but we don't want people to have to show that they got it because you don't want to take away their freedom. So there's a tricky line there. There's definitely a fine line that I think that line could get removed or blurred or drawn bolder in a certain position going forward. We'll have to see what it is because honestly, the battle is going on right now, and I can't say that it's going to end up going one way or another. But I will keep you up to date either way. Next up in stimulus, we're going to cover several different stimulus items. First one is I want to show you this. I want to show you this comment from last night's video. I think it was my 8 p.m. Eastern time video or my 11 p.m. video. It's from Jay Val, and he says, "Thank you so much for the information regarding President Biden's extension of mortgage forbearance, especially for government-backed loans. It worked. No one else, not even the national news, informed the public about this advantage. So many, many thanks to you and Laurel." Thank you so much for the comment, Jay Val. I was happy that I could help. So let me just go over these because these are literally huge, huge, did I say huge? Massive stimulus items that could literally mean many, many, many thousands of dollars extra in your pocket every single month. So yeah, this is an important one, and this is just this is why there's so many different things regarding stimulus that I try to cover different things in different videos so that we can get to them all. And like for example, I don't cover student loan forgiveness in every video, but I do cover it because again, it helps out millions of people. And in this particular case, again, not all stimulus items help out everybody, but I am all for helping out our community, our extended family here of subscribers and community members, our family. So yeah, let's jump in and let me show you this one. Did you know that homeowners can defer mortgage payments for now an extra 6 months? Let me show you how to do this because it's one of the coolest stimulus items out there if you have a mortgage payment. I'll get to rental evictions here in a moment. But as you can see here, directly from the whitehouse.gov fact sheet, Biden administration announces extension of COVID-19 forbearance and foreclosure protections for homeowners. And let me just skip to the important, juicy stuff. Number one, extend the foreclosure moratorium for homeowners through June 30th of 2021. Number one. Number two, extend the mortgage payment forbearance enrollment window until June 30th, 2021 for borrowers who wish to request mortgage forbearance. I'm going to talk about what this is and how to do this and how this helps you in just a moment. Number three, provide up to 6 months of additional mortgage payment forbearance in 3-month increments for borrowers who entered mortgage forbearance on or before June 30th of 2020. So number one is the vast majority of loans are owned actually by the federal government or backed by the federal government by two, actually more than two government entities, but Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So even if your home is mortgaged or your loan is with Third Federal Bank or Fifth Third or Bank of America or something like that, chances are on the back end, it's actually backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which means it's a government backed mortgage. And this is very good for you and for these circumstances. You can, if you're backed by these federal government agencies, and the way you can find this out, simply call your mortgage company and ask them, number one, is my mortgage or is my loan backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or a government agency? And number two, can I get mortgage forbearance? Mortgage forbearance basically means you just don't have to pay your mortgage payment. So yeah, if your mortgage payment's $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month, it literally means you just don't have to pay it and you get to stay there. And it's because it's backed by the government. They're basically letting you not pay and stay there. And get this. Here's the best part about this. Well, actually, let me read this part first. Most homeowners can temporarily pause or reduce their mortgage payments if they're struggling financially. Forbearance is when your mortgage servicer or lender allows you to pause or reduce your mortgage payments for a limited time while you build back your finances. For most loans, there will be no additional fees or penalties or interest beyond scheduled amounts added to your account, and you do not need to submit additional documentation to qualify. You can simply tell your servicer that you have a pandemic related financial hardship. By the way, this is from consumerfinance.gov, a government website. Forbearance doesn't mean your payments are forgiven or eased. You are still obligated to repay any missed payments, which in most cases may be repaid over time when you refinance or sell your home. Before the end of the forbearance, your servicer will contact you about how to repay the missed payments. I'll explain to what this means in English if you didn't get that. The important part here is there's no additional fees for most loans, penalties, or additional interest. And the government just extended this. You can do this for a year, and now they've just added an additional 6 months you can do this in 2 3 month increments. So you probably need to call and like reapply for it 2 different times. So number one, what does this mean? This basically means you can apply for mortgage forbearance without any penalties, interest, any negative marks. It's literally like you get to stay in your house for free. But again, you need to understand all this stuff and ask your mortgage servicer. Make sure, because again, you've seen on that government website, it said for most loans. It doesn't necessarily say for all loans. And if you're not government backed, you might not be able to get this. But basically, you can get up to now 18 months of free, not having to pay to stay in your house. So let's just be clear here how this works for the most part, just in general English. I love explaining things just in general English so the average person can understand it. Let's say you had 10 years left on your mortgage, okay? And you went a year without paying your mortgage through this mortgage forbearance. You'd still have 10 years left, okay? But you didn't accrue any interest. So you're at the exact same point. You didn't add any interest on, you didn't add any penalties or anything like that. You got to stay in your house for a year for free without paying any payments, 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month, whatever it is. And then once the forbearance is up, you go back to paying your normal regular payment and you still have 10 years left. So there's really almost no negative downside to this besides the fact that you'll pay your loan off a year later, but that's just because you didn't pay it for a year, if that makes sense. You're not adding any additional interest on it. The interest actually just gets paused. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, call your mortgage servicer and ask about this if you want to do this, because you can still apply for it and you can still get 12 months and then an additional 6 months there. But don't go blow the money. That's my only financial advice I want to say there. Use the money for not going to the casino or something like that. So try to be prudent with your finances. That's what I teach on this channel is let's get stimulus, let's get money, but let's also be prudent with it, and let's not just blow it as fast as possible. Use it on things that are meaningful. If that makes any sense. That's my advice to you for today. By the way, rental evictions have also been extended. The eviction moratorium. I'm just going to scroll down here on this 17-page document that I'm sure you don't want to read. And basically says this order is in effect on April 1st and will remain in effect till June 30th, 2021, from the CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention. However, rental evictions is almost completely different than mortgage forbearance. With rental evictions, it doesn't really mean you can just stay there for free and not pay it. So all it means is that you won't get evicted as long as you do everything you're supposed to do. So you can pay nothing, although a lot of states require you to pay partial payments. That could mean $1 or two, but it depends on your state. So if you're looking to get eviction protection as a renter, each state is different. So I can't give you blanket statements like I could for mortgage protection. So you need to go and Google and spend an hour of your time if you're running into rental eviction, possibly as a renter, and know what your county and or state laws are. Okay, because some states require you to make partial payments and to give notice to your landlord. You may have to print out documentation and sign it and give it to them, give them advance notice and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, you still have to pay them when the eviction protections are up or get evicted, because it's not the same. A landlord is different when you're a renter. Just think of an average person, and I know that it's not the same because some rental agencies are owned by huge corporations. Um, but in this particular case, let's just say that mom and pop down the street bought a rental house as a investment, and they're charging you 1,000 a month, but their mortgage payment is 800 a month, so they get a little bit of profit, as an investment. But when you don't pay them, they still got to make their mortgage payment of $800 a month. So when all is said and done, you don't get to skip out on that money. But a lot of people are not paying it and their eviction protections are in, and then they're just going to get evicted and then leave. Now, they can file a court judgment on you and try to collect that money, although there might not be any money to collect in a lot of cases. But rental protection is a lot different than mortgage protection. But it is there for both of them. So I just want to make sure that's clear because those are two really big stimulus items that could help you out a lot. Okay. Let me know if that helped you, or if you have any friends or family members that may have either one of these, especially for the mortgage forbearance, share this video with them because man, this is a very important one. And if you cannot pay your mortgage of $1,000 a month for 18 months, that's $18,000 that will be extra in your pocket to pay for other expenses, or even save it or invest it wisely. Don't invest it in super risky stuff because if you lose it all, then you won't have it for future mortgage payments. But again, your own investment strategy is your own. But that's my prudent advice for the day. So I'll have more updates on all the other stimulus items and the fourth round of stimulus check as we get more information. The next video will be at 3 p.m. Eastern Time today, 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on important videos like this one that just could save you thousands and thousands of dollars by learning about these different stimulus programs. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I've had dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon. Me and my wife sell products on Amazon as what our business is, and we also teach people how to do that as well. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.